Welcome everybody back to Conversations with Lumi. If this is your first time on the Spotify or wherever you're listening from, maybe this is on YouTube. I say welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Conversations with Lumi, where we talk about faith and lifestyle. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this video, and drop a comment if you like this video. All right, it's been a week. I was gonna shoot I think 2 nights ago or maybe last night, and I was so tired. I was like, is this what it feels like? But I'm here. I'm here today. I just wanted to talk about an experience in my life that I think is worth talking about. And guys, I don't know if you've ever been in a place where you just wanted to make some money and you did something you never thought you would do. All right, so for me, when just after I got out of secondary school, I decided the next big thing for me to do, for me to earn money at the time, was to work in a car wash. Yes, I worked in a car wash. This is a funny and actually a good story now that I think about it, and I think there is so much to learn from it. I didn't realize how much, what I was doing at the time. In my opinion, I was just doing stuff, just to not sit down idle. I needed to pay my subscription, at least for calls and for internet. All right. And I didn't want to, just always ask for money from my parents. They had sponsored my entire life through to secondary school. Right. So, I remember I spoke to a friend of mine whose dad had the car wash and a laundry business together. And I was like, I can't remember how the conversation started, right? All I know was, I was talking to my friend, and she obliged to talking to her dad about me working with them. I think the conversation might have started out from her talking about, she's going to spend this time after school, working at her dad's place. At the time, I hadn't gotten admission into the university, so it was a good use of my time. At the same time, I get to earn money. We got talking. I asked her to tell her dad about me, and fortunately her dad was so nice to say, of course, why not. Now this is where the problem was. I told my parents I was going to work in a car wash, and my dad wasn't having it. Like, no, you can't subject yourself to that kind of job or hard labor. And I think I understand where it was coming from, because washing, now this is the thing, I grew up actually washing my dad's car, myself and my brother, from, I can't remember how young we were, but we pretty much washed our daddy's car every weekend. In African home, if you see your parents washing the car, you don't just sit in the house. You don't just sit down doing something else, you join. I think it was a good experience for us because it was fun. We would wash the body, we would wash the inside, the interior, and clean everything, wash the rugs and everything. Childhood, take me back. All right, so in my opinion, I had experience, but my dad didn't think it was a good idea. So I was like, you know what, let me just go try it out. I just might work in the laundry section of the business. So Dad, if you're watching this, I never worked in the laundry section. I actually did. I think eventually my dad realized that I was doing the car wash, because nobody was making money from the laundry. People wanted to get their car washed, but nobody was gonna get their clothes washed. Commercial buses would come around, commercial vehicles and private cars would sometimes come around, and we'll get good tips from it. I'm gonna get into the story eventually. Now, my friends also had this idea, so they also applied to different places to I think one of my friends also looked into another car wash around where we used to live, and I mean where my parents still live right now. And he also got a job. I think it was just so beautiful that we were trying to do something meaningful with our life at the time. And I mean, right now you would probably talk about tech, you talk about other skills and all of those things. By the time, the best phone we had wasn't an Android. It was not an Android, trust me. It was, I mean, it wasn't an iPhone. It was, I was using Nokia Asha 200 or something like that. It was a really good phone, trust me. But I mean, it was far back as 2015. So anyway, the phone served its purpose. So that was it. And then I think I resumed my first day, learned the ropes. I started asking questions. How do we do this? What spray do you use? What soap do you use, and all of that. And I definitely had help from a co-worker, because my friend wasn't always around, so I had help from a co-worker who would put me around and show me around, rather. I think it was a beautiful time of my life. Now that I think about it, first of all, I get to make money. For Survivor, it wasn't a lot of money. I think on an average I would make about 8,500 naira, not dollars, 8,500 naira, maybe sometimes 2,000 naira. Because this is how it worked. I think if a car cost to maybe 500 to wash, we would usually get a percent, say 40%, and that's what we'll keep, and the rest goes to the company, the business. So and if you're fortunate enough, someone comes in and says, oh, I want to wash both the exterior and the interior of the car, you get more money for that. So it really depended on what kind of vehicle comes in and all of that. I remember this wasn't exactly a pleasant experience also. There were times where it would be so sunny, the weather was quite harsh, and I would wash under the weather because, bro, you gotta work hard. I think the fact that I saw my parents literally work hard to provide for us, that also ingrained in my mentality or my mindset the the fortitude to do something like that. I won't say that was the best strategy to making money, but I think it was honest. I think it was also, it was a good use of my time. It was better than staying at home. It was better than doing nothing. And this was just after secondary school. I think there wasn't a lot of exposure where I used to live. I would consider it a good experience. So there were times where it would be sunny. There were times where I wouldn't make as much as I thought I would. Somewhere in my head I would think, oh, by the end of the month I will have made this and be able to buy phones. I remember my friends and I making plans on how they want to change their phones but when they make this much money. But like every business, it doesn't always go that way, and that's one thing I think I learned, that every day is not the same. There is the day where there's plenty, there are days where it doesn't look like there is much. I think it's just seasons and times. So when scriptures talks about making most use of your time, also I remember at the time people were also into different kind of stuff, cyber fraud, also known as Yahoo, internet fraud, also known as Yahoo in this time. So I think there is just so much to do, many options rather, for you to make money in an honest way than go through those routes. I think if you're hardworking enough to put yourself into learning internet skills to defraud other people, then you are hardworking enough to learn something honest. Even scripture talks about how that hard work brings profits, right? Hard work brings profits, right? I would just say, like, put your work and let your hard work be in something meaningful. I think one of the important lessons that I learned at the time was also not to be rebellious to my parents, even though I was making money. because at the time, you feel fly and be like, well, I'm making money and all of that. Now I can talk to my parents any or do any or afford any other thing I can afford. I don't remember me spending recklessly or being extravagant with the money I made, because now it makes sense to me when they say that, there is a way you treat the money that you make with your own with your hard work is different from spending someone else's money. I think the most I would do, aside from buy food or maybe buy lunch at work, was maybe at the end of the day I would buy myself some grilled meat, also called suya, in Nigeria and maybe some African countries. That's what I would get. Just eat some suya as a form of reward. Get home. It was just so beautiful because I felt so responsible. Wake up in the morning, hit the streets, go out to work, have some challenges. It kind of initiated me into a bit of adulthood, because I was going to transition into the university where I would live alone. I think that was a good transition for me, where I could have that experience of being responsible for my finances and also decisions I get to make every day. The next thing I would definitely talk about was how I started learning graphic design, and I think that's going to be my next video. Until then, see you guys later. But hold up, if you have not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. All right, so hit the like button, comment, share this with someone, share on your social media platform, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, thank you guys once again. This is Conversation with Lumi. See you guys next time.